We got another install on the BRZ today, something that's severely missing on the back end. Something really important is missing on the back end of this car. It's loud as. Anyway, now this car's quieted down. So let's go back to the car. So, something's missing here. It's not that I have one exhaust pipe. Struggles. Oh man, that's nice. You can see it says Valenti on the front, so maybe someone in the comments can let me know if this is legit or not. So I was hoping with the black one that it kind of blends in with the bumper. You don't notice it as much, except for when it's on. So what we're gonna do first is wire this up, just loosely in the trunk, just tapping wherever it needs to go. See what kind of functions it has, and then we're gonna install it. But there's a twist to this. My car is really low. I don't have jack stand, so the challenge is, can I do this without jacking up the car? So we'll see how that goes. This is how low my car currently is, so you can see it's gonna be a little bit of a challenge, but the one thing I see is that right behind the lamp, right behind this whole thing, I don't have a muffler occupying all that space. Alright, so just about to get started. We've got the Valenti light. I have a screwdriver set, trim removal. I've got some wire taps, wire cutter, electrical tape, and I got a ratchet set somewhere. So I'm gonna start by taking this trim off in the trunk. Underneath this is the harness where the reverse lights plug into. I'm gonna work my way around and remove this so I can get access to the wiring for the tail light, and the brake light wire will tap into that, and then we're gonna see how this thing looks. So I've already removed the harness from the tail light, and I've already removed down here. You see that? That's the harness for the reverse light that goes down into this guy. And I'm already seeing a problem. So the one coming out of the new force brake light has this blue wire in the middle, but the one that came out of the car, if I fish it out here, only has these two. So it has the green and the black, but no blue in the middle. So I'm not sure if it's because I have a 2017 and my tail lights are different and things might be different. Sorry, I have a 2018. Whoops. But my research online was showing that you might have to unpin this if you have the same thing. You might have to unpin this this blue cable, and the blue and the red both will tap into the harness for your tail light. So I'm gonna try to wire this in first, see where that goes, and then see what function is missing from here, and then deal with the blue. Deal with that last because I'd rather not take this apart if I don't have to. So this is a multimeter. I'd highly recommend, if you don't already have one, you should get one for wiring, doing any modifications inside your car that require power, or for you to connect anything to anything else. A lot of people feel like electrical and wiring is difficult, but if you have, if you've already done some research and you have something like this to help you test, you should have no problems. It helps you get a little more comfortable with it, and it won't be this black box or magical type of thing that a lot of people think this is. So you can measure voltages, you can measure, there are ways to measure current with this. You can measure connectivity, which is what I'll be using this for. Basically, you put this into this right here. Let's see if I can get this to focus. Putting it right here, it has a little speaker icon beside that. So what happens is, when you connect the pins to two things and you want to check if they're connected, you put it into that and it'll make that beep. So what happens is, you put this across two things that you want to make sure are connected, and if you hear that beep, that means they're connected. I've tapped the red line into the green line. I'm gonna test on this end if the copper side of that red wire is connected to the pin that's connected to the green wire. And you can hear that that thing beeps, so those are connected. All right, you might be able to tell this is day 2. I'm wearing some other stuff. It's kind of cold today. Only in Canada you go from being like plus 25 degrees Celsius one weekend to like literally 0 degrees or -2 the next weekend, and reported snowfall in May. Kind of crazy. Basically what I tried before was just to wire in the brake signal, and that didn't work properly. So I think I need to put the blue cable in as well and tap that into the tail light harness. But to do that I need to pull it out of the connector that I showed before. I think I showed that before. Anyway, I'm just gonna install it on the car and then run the cable up and see if this works and how it works. All right, so we're gonna modify the challenge a little bit. I said I'm not gonna jack up the car, but I tried getting under and it was impossible. So this is what I did. Just found a ghetto piece of wood I had in the garage for something else and just backed up onto that. And I got maybe just over half a foot total clearance to get under the car. So let's see if this works. All right, so this is gonna be attempt number 1. Oh. This is pretty funny. Hopefully you guys can see this. This is great. Alright, so here we are underneath the car. Kind of a hard spot to get footage for. As you can see, I don't have a muffler because I got this big boy. Basically on the right and left of the this fourth brake light, there's some plastic clips holding it in. Oh boy, that took a really long time to get that out. This is probably an hour later, and of course took even longer because I didn't raise my car. But here's a lessons learned. There's a black clip. It's hard to show from the bottom of the car right now, but basically when this is in there, there's the black plastic clips go into this side and this side, but you can see that clip broke off for me. So I'm not sure why mine was so brittle. Maybe because it's kind of cold out here. It's actually really, really cold today, so it's kind of a problem. But this broke off, so I'm not sure if I'll ever be able to reuse it. Actually, I can probably reuse this. So you got the 2 black clips on the sides, and then there's 2 10mm bolts that hold this in from the top. So basically, if this is in here, they go down this way and this way. There's 2. Those are really hard to get to because they are right under the OEM crash bar. That's like right over here somewhere. That was really difficult to get out. It probably took me an hour to get this out, but I think if you had raised your car, you wouldn't have that issue. And hopefully yours doesn't break like this. Also, this clip on the bottom broke. That's to keep the bottom of this clip to these tabs here. And again, I think it just snapped because of how cold it is right now. So hopefully when I'm putting in the Valenti one, it doesn't break. So we'll see. Alright, progress update. I got the harness out from the old brake light. This thing was a pain because there's a bunch of clips basically held in. This is going to be coming out of this area, and there's a bunch of places where this clips into. So you just gotta, from the bottom of your car, look up and kind of pull this out of each clip, and then it goes up all the way into a hole on this side. So it comes out of something over here. There's a hole, and you can just route it down. There's a weather sealed kind of grommet or whatever this is, and I had to cut mine off because it wouldn't fit. I'm not sure if you have to reuse this. Mine, the Valenti light that I have came with a replacement, it seems, so I just figured I'd cut it and just use the one that came with it. So just double check with yours if yours has that as well. Alright, so I got the harness pulled all the way up through the from the bottom of the car, and you can see the harness that came with the fourth brake light. That grommet is fully in place. Next step is to take out the blue wire from the harness that comes with this. So what you want to do is put a small, like a pin or a sharp object inside here, inside the middle one. That's where the blue one is. And you push against the white clip. Here we go. Hope that's focused. Push against the white clip and slightly pull on the blue wire, that'll come out. So then the next step is to make an incision inside, carefully, inside the black rubber shielding that is on this cable harness, and pull the blue wire out close to the back here so we can tap it into the tail light harness. Oh man, okay, so finally this is probably like 2.5, 3 hours in total, and let's see what it looks like. Alright, so I got the old brake light, I got the old harness in the process of cleaning up, and here we go. Here's the finished product. So this is exactly what I wanted. I'm so happy with how this came out. So when everything is off, it just blends in basically to the rear bumper, and you don't get that weird clear bar. Just kind of disrupting the flow of the bumper. Alright, so this is how this looks in the night, and I just noticed that when I unlock the car, check this out. So the fourth brake light lights up too, and that looks pretty awesome. Oh, so I think that looks pretty damn awesome. I'm really happy with how this came out. Well, you can barely see me, but thanks for watching, and see you next time. Whoa.